We don't move it. We don't do it. We don't do it. From what's not sorry for this place. So WEFM.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Alrighty then, we are back with you, Roleza and I. We are back with another talk segment. At this time, we are going to be conducting an interview with two persons from the Economic Planning Division as it relates to the Beryl Emergency Resilient Recovery Project. This morning, joining Roleza and I in studio, we have Mr. Hans John and Mr. Ari Shaw. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Feels
Welcome
good to
back
be
to your
home.
stomping ground.
It feels good to be home.
It's home, you say?
I was hoping for a cup of coffee or some bullshit this morning.
That could be organized. Small scene.
You cheated me bad in your home.
Boy, I think I've been around.
Well, I'm glad you're blaming Ari for that one.
Right. We need to blame the host. How are they treating us like this?
You needed to send advance notice of your requirements, all right?
You didn't send the rider.
We need a rider.
You know about the rider.
We need to send a rider.
All right. Let me move on.
All right. Good morning, listeners. My name is Ari Shaw. I'm the communication specialist on the Beryl Emergency Resilient Recovery Project. It is a mouthful, so we call it Beryl. With me, we have Hans John.
Yes, Julie.
The project officer on the project. And in a nutshell, the Beryl is a US $63 million World Bank funded project to assist persons affected by the Hurricane Beryl that devastated St. Vincent and the Grenadines, emphasis on the Grenadines, last year. So the project is the vehicle in which the government is trying to assist as much persons as possible under this project.
Yeah, in terms of even like rebuilding the lives and support small businesses and restore the critical infrastructure across the island.
Okay.
This project is geared towards that. And speaking of small businesses, we're targeting micro and small businesses through business grant into getting them up and running for operation. And we're focusing heavily on the Southern Grenadines, and Ari can share a little more about that as it relates to the business grant.
Okay, so before we get into that, though, I recognize that there are three components, because I know the grant is part of it, but let's define some of the components of the Beryl project.
All right, so the project has, as Roleza said, three components: the temporary home income grant, the support small businesses, as Hans mentioned, and the LIGHT program, that is the Labor Intensive Temporary Employment Program. The LIGHT has not come on stream as yet. We have, however, started the income support in January, and it should be wrapping up in August. And that is where persons who applied, or persons who are affected, my apologies, were given $600 monthly on Bank of SVG reloadable cars. That's an initiative we did in collaboration with the Bank of SVG.
In addition to that, apart from the bank card, we would have also provided accommodation for over 5,000 or so persons. 5,000 to be exact, 5,214 persons to be exact.
Yes.
Fully funded and covering their accommodations for those persons affected, especially in the Southern Grenadines and other areas. They're here on mainland. Right, so that is a part of the project as well. And touching the income support, it is similar to that of the other ministries like agriculture and mobilization. So it's all one big boiling pot of rebuilding lives and restoring infrastructure and so forth.
Okay, so the income support has ended.
It is wrapping up.
It's wrapping up.
Okay.
It's in its final phase.
Yes.
And we're getting there in terms of persons who will not have received as yet and persons who continue to benefit as such.
So, curious thing, if persons, for whatever reason, they're now hearing of it, can they apply? Can they inquire about it to get on it, to get on the program?
Unfortunately, it is now too late for that.
Okay.
Because we have just roughly about a month and some to go, basically. And
But
that's it.
it's not doom and gloom. We have the micro and business support, right? Micro and small business, support grant that open on Monday the 15th, and applications will close. We will no longer take applications after August 15th this year.
But therefore, just to zoom in on what we're doing here and what we're trying to achieve, the micro and small businesses, we have a lot of small businesses or micro businesses operating, and we want to help them to rebuild. We want to help them to get up and running again so that they can generate income and have some form of economic activity going on, right? This is just an injection. It's not $1 million that to get you to build an entire sector, but we are stimulating the sector of the micro and small businesses to give persons a grant. You notice I emphasize on the grant. You understand? It's not a loan, it is a grant to help.
Free money.
Right? It's not
free money.
It's not free money because we work hard and we have
No,
it's free money for the recipients.
Right.
It is free money for the recipients once they fit the criteria. So
once you fit the criteria, because you still have to be.
Yes. And speaking of the criteria, you must show proof that your business was active between January and July of last year. You must have no more than 5 employees. You must show proof that your business does not exceed 20,000 EC dollars a month, and individuals must be 18 years and older to apply. How do you apply, you may ask? You didn't, but you need a valid ID, you need proof of business operation and your location, because we will have some priority areas. There, you have to show receipt of business registration, and you have to show photos or documentation of burial damage. Now, persons have asked, what if I don't have photos? What do I do? Go to a legal professional and have them sign a document, just backing up what you're claiming. So you could go to a lawyer or a GP and have them sign and say, well, this person had this business, a tree drop down on this stand and mash up this stand. So they should fit the criteria.
Even additional to that, because we know we're living in a digital world where everything is at your fingertips, and you have your cloud computing and stuff like that, where you could back up stuff, your Google Drive and so forth. You could take full advantage of that. And persons who have online businesses as well, there must be a paper trail of some of the purchases you have made leading up to burial and so forth. So there will be supporting documents or evidence to show that your business was in operation or operating up until the hurricane took place.
Very correct. And as I mentioned, we do have priority areas. Priority will be given to individuals whose businesses are their main source of income. We'll give priority to women. You guys should smile for that. As Roleza, your business started.
Yes, sorry.
Women-owned businesses.
Women-owned businesses. Thank you, Hads. And businesses impacted by Hurricane Beryl. That's the most important part. Your business must have been negatively impacted by Hurricane Beryl. Now, this is the part that people love to hear. How much money we get in? We get in between US $1,000 and US $3,000. You must, and that all depends on your type of business, size of business, and the impact that you receive because of the hurricane.
But in the application, they stipulate how much it is that they're looking to have to source.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Also meeting the criteria as well. Eh? You have to submit all the information, the stuff that are required, and we're asking persons, in terms of the valid ID. We might overlook it, but it's one of the main things that we need. In addition to that, if we say, the registration of your business, because there are a lot of informal business persons who are not registered. This is also helping to get persons to register their business and to move from micro or small business into probably a corporation, and Yeah, big company
That's our
years
hope.
to come. That's our hope
Yeah.
because we're not just doing this because it's a one-off,
Mm-hmm.
but we're actually helping to rebuild better and to help to rebuild persons' lives and the economic activity that we want for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It will go a long way, and this is just the first step in doing that.
All right. So the proof of business, though, because yes, you bring in these SQL certificates, but do you have to show proof of it being registered before last year? What happens in that case? Because as you just mentioned, there are informal businesses, but you have to show proof. So if I've had this business for years, but I've never registered this business, could I still apply?
Yeah,
You can
you're not
definitely
limited.
still apply, and we're hoping through these applications, once you started your application, that you would then register your business.
Okay.
We are, as Hans said, trying to get people to move from informal to formal, because then it makes it easy for us whenever stuff like this happen and your business is impacted. We know exactly who are the business owners,
Yes.
and we could keep a proper log if it is that we're able to assist.
Do you have an idea of how many businesses you'll be accepting? Because I mean, you could have over 500,000 applicants. You're not going to accept all. You
And
can't
I'm glad
accept
you
all.
asked that, because
Very good
a
question.
lot of persons going to be like, boy, it don't make sense I apply because I ain't going to get it. Probably 10 people. We are budgeted to help over 700 business owners. I was
So
expecting that wrong now.
The quicker they get them in. No, but the quicker they get them in is because one of the things that you tend to notice is that people wait till the last minute as well.
Yes.
So yeah, quicker you get it in, the better your footing would be for being considered as well.
Application deadline is when again?
August 15th, 2025.
But just before we move on to the means of the matter, I know everybody, everyone is excited about the cash part of it, but we have some intangible in terms of business training, right? That you'll be getting that to help you to not fall short or to be in any situation that you don't know how to sustain your business, or the continuity of your business or the going concern of your business will be jeopardized. So we're giving you training. Training will be provided for persons, for applicants as well. So don't just zoom in on the cash. There's some intangibles, and the benefit of that will help you to a great extent in terms of the financial management, the marketing of these businesses, right? And other legal areas in terms of operating and stuff like that. You would be given training. Training will be provided as such.
And would there be follow-up after receiving? Because you give it and you provide training up front, but is there going to be a follow-through, or is there going to be a follow-up?
So the practice of the economic planning division, not just to give training or give the opportunities and throw you out in the dark, and if you get through, you get through. No, we try to also follow up with these initiatives. For instance, during the volcanic eruption emergency project, VEEP, we did provide income support, and we did have the light program and other different programs, and we would still ensure that persons are benefiting from it. Under the prime and the on-site, persons who submitted and they want to give their businesses a jump start. For instance, caterers. Whenever we have programs or we go out in the field, we hire those same caterers from those programs. So we still do try to look out for those business owners.
Even in training, because under UBEC, because the economic planning division has a big umbrella, and we have many projects going on, and training is an integral part of what we do in terms of project implementation. Under UBEC, a lot of the farmers had training in terms of food insecurity, how to apply the technology in terms of drip irrigation, extensive training we had, even with operational safety on the workplace. So we're not just giving you these grants or projects or get you to apply and we leave you there. There's extensive training that is going on under each project as we speak. So you get a grant, but you'll be granted other things.
Yes.
You'll be given guidance as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Guidance,
and we'll be following up to see what level
Right.
you're at, because this is not just, this project ends in 2031.
31,
Yeah.
yes. It's scheduled to end in
Scheduled to end.
2031.
So we have to ensure that we track the progress of every project. And we have been doing so over the years.
Okay. All right. Another question. I know sometimes when persons apply for grants, so let's say if I need an embroidery machine, that I provide information in terms of where it is, a quotation for whatever it is that I want, a third party quotation to be provided. Is that going to be happening? What else do I need to provide with this? I know you're trying to make the process simple and as easy as possible, but for verification purposes,
I'll tell you, right? The main purpose of the grant is to help persons restock. Because I mean, realistically speaking, it's 1,000 to 3,000 US. You can't get a building from that. So we're just trying to help persons restock. So if it is that you put in your application, well, I need embroidery machine. I don't think it's that in depth where you need to show a receipt and all this.
Quotation.
You as a business owner should be responsible enough to know, okay, this is the purpose of this grant. I want my business up and running. It has been over a year roughly, and I still going through it because of Hurricane Beryl. So we are hoping that you at least use your own personal self-control in the spending of these funds, because we are at the end of the day trying to assist you.
And training, that's hence the reason why we're stressing
Thank
on
you.
the training, right, in terms of financial management, so that you can make some decision. You expect persons to get 3,000 US and you take it and just do one thing.
Put it back into the business.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
put it directly back into the business.
Right?
Yes.
We expect you to make some decision provided the training and guidance that we're going to be given under the project that will help you to make the best decision going forward, that could help you to restore and to rebuild. It's not $1 million that we're giving, but we want to point persons in the right direction in terms of making the best decision for their business to help them. Right?
Yes. And I know we don't have a lot of time left, but I do want to point out that this is just one part. It's in one component of the project. We still have a lot of activities upcoming. We are constructing two permanent bridges at Overland and Noel. That's on the windward side. We are purchasing water trucks, shredder and balers for CWSA. There's also rehabilitation of the Beckways Fisheries Center. We're also constructing a desalination plant in Union Island and Myro. And I know these persons in Union Island and Myro know just how important having a desal plant is. We have provided income support, temporary accommodation, and we're at the grant right now. We're at the business support grant.
And just I heard you mention the Grenadines, Myro, and Union. So a lot of the focus here in terms of the small business and micro business would be geared towards the Grenadines, because they would have suffered a lot in terms of damages, and they have a lot of informal businesses operating, and we know that the tourist season is just around the corner, right? And we want to ensure that these persons could generate some form of income and that they could benefit and help them to restore their livelihood and to build that better. So speaking of such, we're making applications available to the Grenadines, the Southern Grenadines, right? We're starting off with Union Island, where you could grab the applications for the micro and small business grant at Nemo Housing, right? Office. In Union as well, we have the Tobago Keys Marine Park. Ask for Lesroy Noel. Everybody knows Lesroy. In Myro, Ari, you could help me with this one.
The Urban Development Office, you check for John Roach. The Inland Revenue Office, ask for Tom Neptune. And in Beckway, we have the Grenadines Affairs Office. Carlos Williams is the point person there. And on mainland, come to the financial complex. On the ground floor, we have a booth there. It will be open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day in the week up until the closure of the applications. And if it is that you can't locate the booth for some reason, maybe it rains, maybe the persons had to move the booth, you can come to the first floor of the Economic Planning Division and collect your applications. Unfortunately, we do not have digital applications. Our website is not up and running as yet, but the physical applications are available. And before we leave, I have to point out the project is officially launching on Monday at the NIS conference room at 3 p.m. If you're not able to make it, we will be streamed live on API.
Okay.
But I need to stress again. The financial complex ground floor, please come on out and grab your applications, especially the women-owned businesses, individuals whose businesses are their main source of income, persons affected by Beryl. Don't limit yourself. Apply. Don't think that you don't have a chance. Apply.
Yeah.
Today, now, ASAP, especially for persons in the Grenadines as well. Come and apply. We're there to serve, we're there to help, right? And we're doing our very best to ensure that St. Vincent and the Grenadines rebuild better or build back better.
Okay. All right. And yes, I just want to endorse it because, any injection of cash into your business is always a good step. It's always a positive step, especially if you've been significantly impacted by Beryl. In this case, I endorse, just go, apply, and let the process do its job, right?
Thank you very much,
We have a true
ladies.
and fair process, the economic planning division.
Right. I just need to figure to bring that out because we know how people are.
The
Right.
economic planning division is known to help St. Vincent and the Grenadines to a great extent. Majority of the projects, if not all of the projects happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are responsible and we have been doing a great job. So I just want to shout out the economic planning team who are working hard to ensure that St. Vincent and the Grenadines build back better, right? Because sometimes, we don't highlight the hard work of the persons who are responsible. You might see these
Behind
things
the
happening
scenes.
behind the scenes, and we need to highlight that. And we are grateful for this division and this ministry to continue to push the work of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so with that, we've come to the end of our interview this morning. We had in studio Ari Shaw and Hans John from the Economic Planning Division speaking on the Beryl Emergency Resilient Recovery Project. And remember, apply now. As soon as before they come off the radio, send in your applications.
You should already be there. Should already be there.
We have a contact number as well that you can reach
Yes.
out to as well. So we want to leave that just before we
That
sign
is 494-3000, 494-3000. You can also check the official government website on the projects, www.gov.vc, and the Berry Project CPD@gmail.com.
All right.
And our Instagram pages.
Yeah, don't forget our Instagram page, Facebook. Like, share, comment, follow.
Your Facebook page is called Economic Planning Division.
No, the Beryl Emergency
Oh,
Resilient
okay.
Recovery
Right?
Project.
So make sure you get the handles again. Facebook is Berry, not Blackberry. The Berry. You understand? And Instagram, you just hit us up, follow for all your live updates, for information that you need, right? Get there, follow, and we'll update as such. You never know, it might just pop up one day in your community. You never know. Stay in tune in terms of what is happening. So follow us and use all the handles. Have a blessed one.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a great Friday.